Hello students, welcome to Shantiniketan Idol Academy. Today for standard 7th we are going to record a video lecture for English from unit 1 chapter 2nd, and the title of the lesson is Monday morning. Before we start the lesson, let me ask you why the title is given as Monday morning. As you all know, Monday is the first day of the week. It is very tedious for all those children and the people who do not like to be active. For the lazy peoples, Monday is very stressful. They avoid going to work, they avoid going to school, especially the children's. So that's why the title is given as Monday morning. In this chapter, you will find a boy named Tom Sawyer who is always lazy. He always finds some or the other excuses to skip school. As the first paragraph says that Monday morning found Tom Sawyer miserable. Monday morning always found him so because it began another week's slow suffering at school. These two lines describes the character of the Tom in this chapter. He is always suffering at school. It means that he is not good at school, he is not interested in studies, he always finds excuses generally to skip the class. The next is he generally began the day with wishing he had no intervening holidays, since it made the going into captivity and fetters again so much more odious. Now, for the hard words, I have also added the meanings. Here, the first word intervening, it means coming between two events or dates. As you know, Tom was always lazy. He found many excuses to skip going to school. So, intervening here means he usually hated those days which came between two holidays, because for that purpose he had to attend the class without any interest. Fetters means the chains, something which will stop you from doing what you want, especially for the children who do not want to come to school on Mondays, Tuesdays, or any other morning. They will find something that is known as fetters. Now, odious means extremely unpleasant. One more word is there, miserable, which means unhappy or also sad. Captivity means to capture, to remain in custody of someone. Okay, so here in the first paragraph, Tom gets up in the morning and starts finding excuses so that he can skip the class. So we'll take the next paragraph. Next paragraph says that Tom lay thinking. Presently, it occurred to him that he wished he was sick. Then he could stay home from school. It says that Tom got up from the bed. He just started thinking, let me find something so that I can pretend that I am sick so that I can stay home. He canvassed his system. No ailment was found. So he started checking his body, his system. Here the writer has given as canvassed his system. It means examined fully. But no ailment was found. Ailment means the illness that is not very serious. So next, he investigated again. This time he thought there were colicky symptoms. Colicky means something related to stomach, a small acute pain, little pain which is felt in the stomachs, that is known as colicky. So he found that there were colicky symptoms and he began to encourage them with considerable hopes. Means he wanted to increase that pain so that he can pretend to be sick and he can avoid going to school. But soon they grew feeble and presently died wholly away. It means that those symptoms were not proper and they gone away. So Tom reflected further. Suddenly he discovered something. One of his upper front teeth was loose. So as you know, he was canvassing himself, he was examining himself. He found that his upper teeth from the front upper jaw, it was loose. So this was lucky for him. He was about to begin to groan as a starter, as he called it. So always he did some excuses. He made some skip to class. So he started groaning. Means he used to call it as a starter. Starter is something which is used to start a vehicle or an engine. But then it occurred to him that if he came into the court with that argument, his aunt would pull it out and that would hurt. So he thought he would hold the tooth in reserve for the present and seek further. So what he did, he thought that I will not bring this excuse into consideration, but I will keep it reserved for next time. Now let's see what happened next. So in the next slide, it says that nothing offered for some little time, but then suddenly he remembered he had a sore toe. Sore toe means there is a small pain or some cut was there on his toe, the thumb of the leg. Okay, very eagerly he drew it from under the sheet and held it up for inspection. He did not know the necessary symptoms, but it seemed quite worthwhile to chance it. So he fell to groaning with considerable spirit. So now in this paragraph we came to know that Tom found one more excuse. It was a sore toe. He got some pain in his toe. So he found it a proper thing, a worthwhile thing, so that he can chance it to show as a sickness, and then he can bring the excuse. So he started groaning. But Sid slept on unconscious. Sid is the brother of Tom Sawyer. He also has a sister named Mary. These three children live with their aunt, and the name of the aunt is Aunt Polly. So Tom groaned louder. He fancied he was really feeling pain in the toe, but no result from Sid. Sid was in the deep sleep. He didn't hear the loud groaning of the Tom. So what happened next? So Tom was panting with his exertion by this time. He took a rest and then swelled himself up and fetched a succession of admirable groans. Sid snored. Again, he started making some loud noise, more louder noise, but he was not able to make Sid get up from the bed. He was in the deep sleep. So Tom was aggravated. Aggravated means he made the condition worse. He said, "Sid, Sid," and shook him. This course worked well, and Tom began to groan again. So, seeing that his brother Sid was not getting up from the bed, he was in the deep sleep, he started shaking him by saying, "Sid, Sid, get up." So, Sid yawned, stretched himself, and then on his elbow with a snort, and began to stare at Tom. Tom went on groaning. He saw, when he got up from the bed, he saw that Tom was groaning. So he was a bit lazy type. As we all get up from the bed, we start yawning, we start stretching our body. So same thing was done by the Sid, and he stared at Tom, but Tom was groaning. Next we have Tom. Say Tom. Here Tom. Tom, what is the matter, Tom? So Sid said in response and asked Tom that what was the matter. But Tom, he was just moaning, means he was just showing that he is having a pain. So he said, "Oh, don't say, don't joggle me." "Why? What's the matter, Tom? I must call auntie." Joggle means to shake someone slightly. Just when nobody is waking from the bed, we shake him. That is known as joggle. So Sid requested, Tom said to Sid that don't joggle me, it is giving me pain. So next Sid said that I must call auntie if you are having some problem. He said, "No, never mind. I will be over by and by. Maybe. Don't call anybody." But then Sid said, "But I must call. You are groaning. You are having pain. So how long since you have been groaning?" Tom replied that for hours I am groaning. Then he said, "Why didn't you got up me?" Tom said, "I didn't wanted to disturb anyone. You were in the deep sleep, so I don't wanted to disturb you." Then Tom said that I am in a great pain, and this pain will kill me. Then Sid says, "Tom, why don't you make me sooner? Why don't you wake me sooner?" "Oh, Tom, don't. It makes my flesh crawl to hear you." "Tom, what is the matter?" "I forgive you everything, Sid. Everything you have ever done to me when I am gone." Now, see, Tom is creating the problems worse for the Sid. He is saying that now he is going to die. He is having lot of pain. Sid is not able to understand what happened. He says that, "Oh, Tom, you aren't dying, are you?" "Don't, Tom." So next is here Tom starts finding many excuses so that he can bring his attention to aunt, so that he can avoid going to school. Next slide says that "I forgive everybody," said. "Tell him so. Tell them so." Sid, you give my cat with one eye to the girl with golden hair and tell her. So again, Tom started finding excuses. He said that I will forgive everybody who has done wrong to me, and you give my cat to that golden hair girl. But Sid had snatched his clothes and gone. Tom was now suffering in reality. So handsomely was his imagination working, and his groans had gathered quite a genuine tone. Then Sid snatched his clothes and went downstairs and called, "Oh, Aunt Polly, come, Tom's dying." Then Aunt Polly was shocked. She shouted, "Dying?" Then Sid says, "Yes, Auntie, don't wait, come quickly." Aunt replied that it's rubbish. I don't believe it. What are you saying about? How can Tom die? He is fine. You cannot say that he is dying. The next, when she went upstairs with Sid and Mary at her heels, her face grew white and her lip trembled. When she reached the beside, she gasped out, "You, Tom! Tom, what's the matter with you?" "Oh, Auntie, I am. What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you, child?" Aunt was really asking many times that what happened, Tom? Why are you moaning with pain? Then Tom replied, "Oh, Auntie, my sore toe is mortified." Mortified means it is injured and badly infected. The old lady sank down into the chair and laughed a little, then cried a little, then both together. This restored her and said, "Now, Aunt Polly, imagine that really Tom is having some really pain, or he is panting, or he is really in trouble." But when she found that he was having sore toe, she laughed also and she cried also. She found that he is just making excuse, and he is not having any type of pain. Then she said, "Tom, what a turn you gave me. Now you shut up that nonsense and climb out of these." Then aunt said that you are just making an excuse. He understood because Tom had made this type of excuses before also. So he says that she says that you just get up from this nonsense and start going to school. You just get ready. The groans ceased and the pain vanished from the toe. The boy felt a little foolish, and he said, "Aunt Polly, it seemed mortified, and it hurt so much that I never minded my tooth at all." Then Tom again started making excuse. He said that, "Aunt Polly, it is really giving me pain. It mortified because it is infected. I forget that I have a loose tooth. I also have pain in my tooth." The next we see that your tooth indeed. What's the matter with your tooth? Aunt Polly asked that what is the matter with your tooth? Then Tom replied that one of them is loose and it aches perfectly awful. Tom says that it is loose, it is going to come out and it is giving me pain. Ache means pain. So there now you don't begin that groaning again. Open your mouth. Well, the tooth is loose, but you are not going to die about that. Mary, get me a silk thread and a chunk of fire out of the kitchen. Then she examined his mouth. She found that really Tom was having a loose tooth, but she again reminded Tom that this will not kill you or this will not make you die. She asked Mary to bring a silk thread and a chunk of fire. Chunk of fire means to collect some fire in a bowl and bring it for some use. Then Mary went in the kitchen and brought everything. Tom shouted, "Oh, Auntie, please don't pull it out. It doesn't hurt anymore. Please, Auntie, don't. I want to stay home from school. I don't want to stay home from school." Then Tom understood that Aunt is going to pull his teeth. So he requested Aunt not to pull out the teeth and agreed to go to school. Then Aunt says, "Oh, you don't. So all this row was because you thought you had get to stay home from school and go fishing. Tom, Tom, I love you so, and you seem to try every way you can break my old heart with your outrageousness." Here, outrageousness means very shocking and unacceptable behavior. So, Aunt understood that Tom was just making excuse to stay home. He wanted to skip the class. He wanted to go for fishing. She requested Tom not to make this type of excuses because going school is a very good habit. By this time the dental instruments were ready. The old lady made one end of the silk thread fast to Tom's tooth with a loop and tied other to the bedpost. Now dental instruments means something which is arranged, some tools that is used for dental purpose, means ailments regarding teeth. So what she did, she tied one end to the loose tooth of Tom and the second to the bedpost. Then she seized the chunk of fire and suddenly thrust it almost into the boy's face. The tooth hung dangling by the bedpost now. Then she brought that chunk of fire just near the face of Tom. With that threat, Tom pulled his face back and low. Now the tooth was coming out. But all trials bring their compensation as Tom wended to school after breakfast. Wended means to walk slowly, slowly move towards something. Now you saw that Aunt Polly had made some dental arrangements to bring out the loose tooth of the Tom. Now after the arrangement, when the silk thread was tied to Tom's tooth and the second end was tied to bedpost, just a jerk was given by the Tom in order to avoid the chunk of fire. The loose tooth came out. So all the trials which was made by the Tom came to an end. Now Tom has to move to school. He was wending towards the school. He took his breakfast. He was the envy of every boy he met because the gap in his upper row of teeth enabled him to expectorate in a new and admirable way. He gathered quite a following of lads interested in the exhibition. There was one who felt jealous of Tom's new glory and said that it wasn't anything to spit like Tom Sawyer. Sour grapes, said one another. So, what happened when he went to school? There was a gap in the mouth of the teeth, means the mouth which was having a gap. It looked something funny. All those students who were with the Tom, they started envying Tom, they made fun of him. But a special way was invented by Tom to spit, and that was a unique way which made jealous. The new glory was given to Tom by his friends, that he is a special person and he is able to spit in a unique way. So some says that that is nothing, anything to spit like Tom Sawyer. It is not a unique way. It is something that is avoided by everyone. So this ends the lesson. Now the whole summary of the lesson is that the Tom who wanted to make excuse to skip the class had to go to school, and the excuses made by Tom didn't work out. So dear students, the main lesson which we get from this story is, if you are making excuses to avoid school or skip the class, you will be in the laws. So it's a request to everyone that everyone must come to school whenever the school is running normally and get into your studies. Now this lesson ends, and if you find any difficulty regarding any words or any paragraph, do comment me so that I can clear your doubts. I will also give you some questions which we have to solve in your notebook, and we will see your answer when we'll meet in the class. So this is the exercise and some questions to you. You can take the screenshot of this particular slide so that you can solve it afterwards. So thank you students. I will request you to stay home, stay safe and keep learning. Thank you.